Thanks for staying with us. So recently, a very popular socialite and lawmaker representing Isayin Itesiwaju Kajola Iwajoa Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives, Honorable Shina Peller, lost the primary ticket that would have made him fly the flag of the APC or your North Senatorial District come 2023 elections. Joining us now on the show is the Honorable himself to share his reservations concerning the primary election that just took place last weekend. Welcome to the show, Honorable Peller. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Thanks for joining. Yes, thanks for joining us. So, I've seen a few of the interviews that happened in the last few days, and one of the issues you've had concerning the primaries, but the fact that it was shifted. But let's start from why did you think it was necessary for you to move from the House of Representatives to the Senate? What was your intention of shifting, especially when you already had a place in the House of Representatives?
Thank you very much. You know, it is very common in Nigeria that politicians always think about themselves first. But for me, when I was making up my mind to go in politics, I understand that a politician must always put the people's interest before his interest. And my constituency consists of 4 local governments, which is the same Tesiwaju, Kajola, and Iwajoa. That's the same local government, the Tesiwaju local government, Kajola, and Iwajoa. At the state constituency level, Isenyi and Tesiwaju is seen as one state constituency, which is the same Tesiwaju. And within the last 12 years before mine, the representative has always been picked from Isenyi Tesiwaju. And me coming in, at the time I joined politics and I joined the race, and I wanted to represent my people at the House of Reps. During my campaign and consultation, and we get to Kajola and Iwajoa, I always feel their pain, because the first thing they ask myself and my leaders, from my local government is, oh, he's saying people, you have come again. When are we going to have our own fun? So since that time, I've always had that feeling that when I get involved, I would want to, correct these years, of pain of Kajola and Iwajoa, to make sure that by the time I complete my 4 years, I would not be asking for another term. Because by the time, if I'm asking for another term now, it means that Kajola Iwajoa would not have gotten any representative from Kajola Iwajoa for 20 years. Right. And I think this is bad. So for me as a person, for the sake of my integrity, made up my mind, from day one after consultation, to see that it is only fair, for me to allow Kajola and Iwajoa to field, a representative. Okay. So for this reason, I had to also consider the fact that the area that represents at the senatorial level has not produced a senator within the last 8 years. The last time that we had a senator was, I think that was 2011. And my senatorial district is a 13 local government district, 10 local government from Okiogun area, and 3 local government from Ogbomoso. So the present senator that is from Ogbomoso now has been there for 8 years now. And the history of my senatorial district, there is no senator that has done 2 terms. So God even used me during this last campaign, for the senator, because I had to campaign with him around, and I had to plead with people that they should, let us give them a support. So this time around, it is not about me. Right. It is about the people of Okiogun. Okay. The people of Okiogun believe that they have been marginalized enough, and it is a time for them to field a senator. They are not going to give a 3rd term and use 10 local governments to serve the 3 local government, representative. Gotcha. And going back to check the result of the past elections, in 2015, when the senator won the first time at the Senate, he only got about 17,000 votes from Ogbomoso, which is his own axis. He even lost election, he lost at the 3 local government from Ogbomoso. But coming to Okiogun, he got about 86,000 votes. So, and same thing happened in 2019. He did not win from Ogbomoso. He also won from Okiogun. And Okiogun, people are saying enough is enough, and they would want, the
Right.
senator to come from
Let me
the
get a few
Okiogun
more
region.
questions
So
in for
it's
you.
about,
Okay, Honorable.
yeah.
Yes, so I know that before the commencement of the primaries, you had put up a conference and you cried foul play, saying that you noticed some irregularities. Why then did you go ahead to contest even after you had noticed this?
Thank you very much. I'm a Muslim, and assumption is the beginning of sin for my religion. And I cannot assume, although people have said it, that the list of the delegates has been doctored, that some bad elements within the party have given the senator the opportunity to bring a new list, of his own people, not even considering other stakeholders or other aspirants that will be voting. That's the first one. The second one is we were meant to have that election on Saturday the 28th. And on that Saturday, we go to the venue, which is the headquarters of our senatorial district, as it is in the Constitution that election must take place at the headquarters of the senatorial district. We go there from 10 a.m. 5 aspirants were meant to be contesting for that seat, and 4 of us were already at the venue. The only person that was missing at the venue was the senator, and also the officials, the party officials that came from Abuja, that was meant to come and conduct that election. We did not see a sign of them. And what I'm saying, you can check, from AIT was on ground, Rice TV was on ground. We have INEC on ground. We had the police on ground. We had DSS, and we have civil defense on ground. I'm sure they wrote their report. Nothing happened. There was no sign of election. There was no sign of the senator. There was no sign of the officials from Abuja that have come to conduct the election. The only news we heard was that there was a secret voting going on in a house, in a saying, which is not the venue for the election. And we went there, myself and the rest of the aspirants, because at that time, even people were already agitating, for people to come to their aid, because a lot of crowd from the saying were already even moving to that house. So we have to quickly follow them to make sure that, we calm the situation down. And on getting there, we saw the senator there. I saw him with my 2 eyes. We saw him there. We saw some people there and paper, the APC papers and everything on the table. So on that day, when we caught them, they could not do anything. So the election was postponed, and they invited us to Ibadan to meet with the chairman of the committee. While we're in Ibadan, for no reason, they unconstitutionally moved the election that was meant to happen in the same local government to Shaki, that they did not even inform us. We heard from the news, and people told me that the election will be going on in Shaki. So for me as a person, I like to confirm things with my own eyes. Although even the rest of the candidate, of the aspirant, they told me that they are not going to go. And since the list has been doctored, that they are not going to go. But trust me, I believe that sometimes it is not good for you to just believe ASA. So I had to take the pain and travel down to Shaki. And I got there as well. I saw that they have mobilized a lot of hoodlums. They have mobilized the police. They have mobilized, DSS and the whole police, barricaded from people from coming in. Even I had to go, I could not even go with my PA. They only allowed me to go inside, and I go inside as well. I waited, then we saw the Abuja people came in, and by the time they came in, they said they are going to start. Then I waited for about 15, 20 minutes to actually hear them call the names of the people that were the delegates. And by the time they start calling the names of people at the delegates, the names were not the real delegates, that the party submitted to Abuja.
Wow.
I even tried to call somebody in Abuja, the secretariat, to ask for them to check, please, the delegate list that was submitted by the chairman delegate committee, which they signed on. That is Honorable Jalo Adesina. They should check if this delegate list that they are using in Abuja in this Shaki is the same. And the person confirmed to me that it is not the same. Wow. So at that time, I had to excuse myself because I know that I would not participate in that kind of primaries. So it means that some bad elements in the party have already made, that kind of arrangement. So I was even surprised when they said I scored 5 because I did not even, participate in a primaries. I don't know how I would score 5 in a primaries. I did not participate.
Let me get a few more questions for you.
You are claiming that there is a threat to your life. why would you think that there is a threat to your life, and why do you think your life is in danger?
Okay, on that Saturday while we are at on that Sunday while we are at the Premier Hotel, remember that on that Saturday when we were meant to have the election, that it did not happen. They invited us to Ibadan. So we were in Ibadan that night. Then the next morning we were asked, so myself and the rest of the aspirants, we wrote a letter which we wanted to submit, to the committee chairman. So I was at Premier Hotel when somebody called me, and we were just leaving Premier Hotel to go back to Okyogun when somebody called me that I should be careful. And they sent me a video of about 4 cars and 2 buses, that were going on their way to Okyogun. The person asked me that I should be careful, that they have ammunitions and everything, and they were coming for me. So at that time, I had to alert my chief security officer, who alerted, a security team. And on our way going, by the time we got to my town, he's saying we saw the same car that was sent to us in the video, about 4 or 5 of the cars, parked just about 500 meters to my house. So at that time, before my CSO could turn back and, my team could come back to go to the place, 1 or 2 of the cars had already moved, but we were able to hold, 3 of the other cars. So we held them, and so they brought them out, and this is why
Did they say that they were...
got to those people that were paraded.
All right, let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation with the Honorable. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have Honorable Peller with us. Mike, you're going to send a follow-up question?
Yes, I was going to ask, how do you know that they were coming for you? Did you interrogate them? Did they confess that they were coming to kill you? Because they could have just been parked on the road.
This is politics.
I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I said, how do you know that they were coming to kill you? Because they could have just been parked on the road. Did you interrogate them? Did they confess to coming for you?
Okay, thank you very much. Like I said, I got an intel that before we even got there, even at about 2 hours before we got there, that they were out for me. And someone actually sent me a video, of, about 5 cars, that's 4 cars and 2 buses. Right. And informed me that they had ammunition with them. So while they were leaving, so while we were going, you can, from Ibadan to saying is nothing less than at least about 1.5 hours drive. So for me to get that intel, and I alerted my security, and we're driving all the way to Shaki, and just 500 meters from my house, the same car that was sent to me was parked 500 meters from my house.
Right.
And when my security team arrested them, they saw Luca charms and, Pichu, in the car. And although, these people were definitely, when they saw them, they were denying that, no, they were not coming for me and everything like that. They were just going to Shaki and everything, All
right. Let me get a few more questions in for you. Go ahead, Tokwe.
So you have made really strong accusations within your party. While you're coming with strong details of how your own side is the right side, within the party structure, aren't there ways to legally address this sort of anomaly? Aren't there structures on ground within the party to prevent this kind of things from happening? Some people are saying online that it's because the party structure might have been a bit shaken with the deaths of 2 major party leaders in the past 2 years, the passing of the late former governor Ajimobi as well as the late former governor Alawakala, that might have caused instability. But what are the party official structures that you could have done to address this legally?
Thank you. The first thing is the democratic process, which is the law. After every election, there is an opportunity for an appeal. And we have made our representation to the appeal committee. And when I say we, I'm talking about 4 aspirants. We have 5 aspirants contesting for the seat, and 4 aspirants are saying the same thing. I have Honorable Said Alaro. We have Honorable Mrs. Adebonyi Adiola. We have Chief Ogunbode and myself. The fifth person is the incumbent senator, who was even nowhere to be found on the day of the election. And we did not even see the party officials that was meant to come and conduct that election at the venue of the election on the day of the election. We found them in a house, with paperwork and everything like that. So for the democratic process, we have done that already. And also we have written a letter to the leadership of the party, to look at this. And come to think about it, we're talking about democracy here. And our President Momodu Buhari, promised Nigerians, or promised our party faithful, that there was going to be a restructuring within the APC, that the Abuja downward style will be changed from bottom up. And this is what myself and the people of Okeogun have been practicing. During our World Congress, we did a World Congress about 2 or 3 months ago. Until now, we have not gotten the result of the World Congress in Oyo State. We did our local government Congress about immediately after the World Congress, maybe 2 weeks after the World Congress. Till now, we have not gotten the results of this local government Congress. Come on, how do you think about what do you think is going to happen? So that is why, till now, people just believe that they can just lock themselves in a room and 3-4 people will be deciding, for millions of people. It's not going to be taken, as such.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Honorable, it seems like your own political party has done you dirty. What is the plan? Do you intend to port to another political party? Because when we see some of these things, the politicians just quickly move to a party they believe may be able to give them justice. What's your plan?
I still strongly believe that my party has not, done any. It didn't do any harm to me, because there's a process. We have written to the party, and we will wait for the response, from the party. But from the people, I choose to represent my people. I did not come into politics to come and steal or to come and look for what I want to eat. Alhamdulillah, thank God that God has, blessed me. I had my business. I've been able, to build my life before I came into politics. I saw the reason to come and liberate my people. Okeogun area is an area that occupies the largest landmass area in the whole of Oyo State. About 60% of Oyo State land is from Okeogun. And we have been marginalized. With 10 local governments, we have not produced a governor before. Even if you are saying we've not produced a governor before, it's even now becoming so difficult for us to even liberate ourselves to even get Senate from 3 local government areas. So you can see the injustice. And for me, I'm a man of peace, and I understand the importance of peace. You must obey the principle of equity, fairness, and justice. This is the reason I decided not to run for a second term, even as a House of Rep member. Any other person who wants to run for a second term. But I understand that we have 2 zones, and we cannot take representation 20 years and not give
I get that. Honorable Peller, what do you hope to achieve? Do you want them to turn the result and have another primaries for this? Do you want them to turn it around? What exactly do you hope to achieve by crying foul and trying to get it
because I do not know the level of conspiracy within the party. Definitely there is conspiracy against the Okeogun people within the party, but I did not know the level of conspiracy. If we ask that the election should be done again and it should be in direct primaries, they can still come up with bogus list and still come and do that. But what we are asking for is direct primaries. I'm a member of the National Assembly. We made laws, and we did not say by force you have to choose one pattern of primaries. So when the people are not satisfied with an option, then you move to another option. And the clear option right now, the people of Okeogun, they're agitated. They believe that if the party is not going to give them an opportunity for them to vote who they want, then they will opt out to look for another party. And if my people say that they want to look for another party, who am I to say no? Because I left what I'm doing to serve my people. So whether we like it or not, it's now the party. If the party needs the people of Okeogun in APC, then they should listen to the yelling of the people and allow the people to even do a direct primary where everything can be open. In each of the local government, give us the location that every local government should come to, and let people queue with their party membership card
Right.
And that will be televised, and everybody can be able to see what is going on. But not now that we don't know the level of conspiracy. If they come up with another list now and say they are coming to do another primaries and everything, and they still do the same, I don't know. So, but right now we have written to them and we have asked the party that is either they give us the list that was used, that was submitted by the delegate committee, signed by Honorable Jalo Adesina, somebody that I know that he is a man of good repute, and he will not cheat. Let them bring that one and let them do it. And if you are not going to do that, then let us have a direct primary. And of course, it should be done at the venue that is in the Constitution.
Gotcha.
Senatorial election must be conducted at the headquarters of the senatorial district, which is in Italy local government.
All right.
Even if they want to shift to another local government, they are meant to inform INEC 7 days notice. They are meant to inform the stakeholders, the aspirants, which they did not do. They just did a kangaroo shifting from the main venue to another venue in order for them to act their plan.
Thank you very much,
So
Honorable
if you
Peller.
don't
We have to
get
run,
justice-
unfortunately.
we have to run.
Yes, that's all we can
You already
do.
said it's
Well,
not
thank you so much for sharing that
It's
side
not
of the
going to
story.
change.
We continue to follow up on this story and hope we get justice. That's all we can take on this
Thank you
segment.
very much.
We'll come back, move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.